I like to get a bunch of men together.
Okay.
Men that are the hardest of the hard. And I want to be with these men.
It's the Catican. Tonight we're breaking down the thrilling conclusion of the BBN Invitational, the most pointless non-tournament tournament in the history of college basketball. A bracketless, trophyless extravaganza that exists purely to give Kentucky fans something to tweet about in November. And we love it for that. Kentucky beat Western 87-68. Fellas, how are we feeling?
Good, man. I'm sure so it was a more frustrating game than other games have been, but I mean, you win by 19 in a game in which you shoot just terribly from three, 27%, only 69% on free throws. Really choppy game,
Nice.
but man, beginning of the day today, there's only 34 undefeated teams left. This is one of them. I'll take it. There's 300 Division One teams. Win's a win. Lots to work on, lots to pick apart, in film. But honestly, I feel pretty good about it. It's a good win.
Yeah, I agree. I think they obviously had a game plan coming in to maul and kind of disrupt what should be just a beautiful game of basketball. It's basketball terrorism, honestly, but still scored 87 points. I really think that they were more athletic than I anticipated. I didn't really do too much Western Kentucky scouting, to be honest. But if we had played Travis Perry, his Western Kentucky Magic probably would have dropped 40 on him.
I like that.
But you got to let the guys that need some minutes get some minutes. So I think we had a lot of guys play more minutes this game than we usually do, which when the pace was it felt like that game took forever because all the ones that we've been playing recently have been so fast, and that one was just messy, slop it up, gross.
Yeah.
71 free throws. 71 free throws.
71 fouls too, right? So how many free throws? Yeah, you're right. So geez, that's insane.
It felt like kind of like imagine a SEC basketball teaser, because that's how SEC basketball typically go. Some of these teams they're not as talented, and they're like, well, let's muck it up, let's make it a rock fight, and let's just try to actually fight these dudes. They can't call a foul on everything, and I like that, getting an early season taste of that. We responded well. I mean, not every game's going to be a blowout, and we're not going to be lighting it on fire from three every game, and still performed well.
If we shoot our normal clip, we go over 100. So it's like, even though the rhythm was all jacked and it felt like it was going so slow, we were still, on pace to have one of those offensive games.
And even despite like the poor shooting and things like that, they still out rebounded Western 54-41. Had 16 assists on 25 buckets. It's still a good performance. I know people are not going to be as happy with it as every other game's been. Outside of Duke has been nearly flawless. But I mean, this is a Western team. It's definitely the second best team we've played. They went into a really tough environment in Grand Canyon earlier in the year, and they lost by 2 in that game. We're right there right till the end. They didn't play afraid at all. They went right at us. They didn't shoot the ball. They shot the ball even worse, obviously. But that was definitely a team that had a game plan to be physical, and they didn't back down at all. And I thought it was a good test, and especially during like Thanksgiving week with school being out and stuff, it's tough to. Like I said, teams lose, man. There's only 34, probably be less by the end of the day. Undefeated teams left in the country. So it's as much as there is the nitpick. I thought it was a little heavy on the starter minutes, but overall, like clean some things up, and it's great to win a game shooting 27% from three.
I call these games the holiday blues, because typically you'll have one where it just kind of feels like the guys are sleeping through it, but in this one we won it by 19. So I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. We lost to UNC. Was it UNC Wilmington? I don't even remember the name, and we lost to them last year during our holiday blues. So I will happily take a 19-point game in which our biggest strength wasn't working for us that night. Also, how about Andrew Carr tonight, man? All reliable. When you need a bucket, just turn to Andrew Carr. Or Ortega
Right
Owe
away,
driving
man.
to the basket.
He's getting Andrew Carr plays a lot more physical in post play than I expected him to. I think, which has been nice because, to be honest, Amari's when stuff gets physical like that. I mean, I think he had, let's see, how many turnovers did he have? 6. Yeah.
6, yeah.
So when it gets physical on the offensive side, I think we have better options for Big Ben than Amari, which he's still, good. It's just finish sometimes, I would have liked to probably have seen more Brandon Garrison play, but I also think it was probably good for Amari to get one of these pop you in the jaw type games that
I think
isn't, Auburn.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Brandon, like, is Amari, like, sure, like he has, he's had his struggles with the foul line, he struggled with the turnovers, but he still had 4 blocks, 3 assists, stayed out of foul trouble, 10 boards, was still a positive impact despite it feeling like, I mean, the free throws is really the area of concern because it's almost, if he doesn't start finishing the ball at the hole a little more, it's going to be tough to justify in tighter games, because again, it's really hit or miss, like very much 50-50 it feels like from the line. But I mean, he's still, Garrison's got a ways to go in the passing department. I think he's got a ways to go in the rebounding department. He's definitely progressing, but I think that's why you're seeing a little more of Amari, even though it does feel a little rough with the 6 turnovers. But that's what I imagine is the justification there. It makes sense to me, at least.
And their big also fouled out, so we out gamed them when it came to the foul line. So we won an ugly game.
I mean, if an ugly game's a 19-point win, yeah, that I was gonna say, like, it really.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, you
Yeah.
you could be UConn dropping 2 straight. You could be any number of teams, that have lost the
Back
game.
to
We
back.
haven't. Mhm.
We just
That is
set
true.
a school record for like the most like games with like 10 threes in a row. And that's over now, but we still hit 8 threes. So it was a rarity what we were doing. And what's nice is this game will probably be the anomaly in the season for us hitting under 10 threes in a
Definitely.
game.
Yeah, I think so. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I was just gonna say I think we will, find our stroke a little bit more. They were really committed to just ruining our stroke game, and
I hate that.
Hate a ruined stroke.
it's like your wife walks in on you mid stroke,
And you missed that thing.
it's just like breaks your rhythm up. Whatever.
No, I mean, I think looking at it here, it was interesting because it was a little shorter rotation. Like I kind of find it curious that even shooting that poorly, we didn't see a bunch. I mean, Chandler got what, 4 minutes? Is that what Colin got 4 minutes, and then you really had heavy minutes with Jackson, Ortega, Carr. I don't remember a lot of guys playing over 25 minutes. This has got to be kind of a first, right? Like even against Duke, I don't think we had that heavy of starter minutes, if I recall. But
Nope, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And
I think that we could have probably blown the doors off had we went with a lineup tailored to blowing the doors off.
perhaps.
I don't know how much Mark Pope does like gamesmanship like that. But it felt like we could have sat some dudes and got more production had we been scared of losing.
It was a learning experience. So you gotta play with your guys and see if they can get themselves out of a situation. It's early enough in the season. There was never really a point in the game where you thought we were going to lose to where we really had to lock in. So I like just letting the guys play, letting them figure it out. It's still November basketball.
I mean,
And we won by 19. We won by 19. We're down. We won by 19. And we won the BBN Invitational, guys. They don't just give that to anybody. They only give it to us.
For sure. Because they only give it to the champs, And I think that's as much as you can really say. It's kind of on to the next one at this point, And really, it's again, 19-point win. You got Georgia State coming up on Friday. And then it really gets, it really amps up after that. But I mean, you get through Georgia State, we get 2 big ones right after that. But again, a win's a win. It's 19-point win in November. No one's going to look back and think, oh my gosh, I wish we'd have won that by 22 or 23. Okay. And it's undefeated. Keep it moving. Get to the next one. Just win.
We're gonna forget this game by next week.
Oh,
By
absolutely.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't as fun to watch as our big blowouts, but that's all right. I think it was a good learning experience, and when your learning experiences can be wins by 19 points, that's better than previous years.
What are the big takeaways from the game? What do you think that, like, if you had to say what we need to work on moving on from this, what are I wouldn't even say red flags. What are the pink flags? Something like that.
Transition defense at points in the second half. It felt like they took the ball out of the net real quick, out of bounds, and they even on, we get a big score, push it to 16-17. It felt like they were down at the other end getting a foul, or down at the other end getting the layup. I mean, they shot like putridly, but they were quick up and down the floor. They were not afraid to push that thing.
You think we would be better at that with us doing the same exact thing all the time? So you'd think they'd be used to that in practice, but it just feels like they weren't. They didn't seem like they were locked in for it. Which, I mean, it's young players, even guys in the NBA. You'll drop a random game here or two when you're not fully locked in on it.
Yeah,
we're not in sicko mode yet.
Well, I think too, the one thing we're not really talking a ton about is the defense. I mean, we played really good defense. We held them to just abysmal shooting. I think 31, 15, and 75 on their splits. Like 15% from three is atrocious. And a lot of them weren't even close. They had a hand in their face, all that stuff. So, I mean, played really good defense. Their guard line went a combined 4 of 28. I mean,
yeah. And Western, that's a team that likes to shoot it. They like to shoot it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there was quite a few possessions and then all these foul shots. There was definitely opportunities for them to get to that 80-ish points, but because of the defense, because the perimeter is so sticky, and then the big guys. I mean, Amari had some sick defensive plays today, which is nice. I think the only pink flag or whatever for me would be figuring out what our game plan is going to be offensively when we're in a physical game like that. Now, I mean, we saw what they did against Duke. We didn't do that tonight, really. I mean, Mr. Reliable car did come through, but we didn't put it all on his back.
Bro, it was like a Buick.
That's
what kind of car he is.
Yeah, he kept it comfortable for us, but it still feels like we were trying to get some meaningful reps in with our normal big rotation, which, when you are up and you can have that luxury to use this as not just a game to win, but a game to grow from, then you do it.
I mean, I was going to say it felt a lot like the Duke game in the sense of like Carr was, your second best on plus minus, tied for, one under Ortega. I mean, it felt like we did have a similar, not to completely disagree, but I feel like we went to the basket. The threes weren't falling to a greater degree this game. I feel like that's kind of what you're going to see is they're going to go to the basket, rack up 29 fouls, shoot 42 foul shots. I think that's kind of what it'll be in a game like that when the three's not falling.
We said during the Duke game that when Duke had the lead on us, they sort of weren't hitting that backbreaker or the kill shot on us, and that's how we were able to sort of fight our way back into the game. But it felt like tonight we were on the other end of that, and the reason it doesn't feel like we had a bigger win is because we didn't have like a big moment or like a big run. We just slowly sort of were chipping away at them the entire game.
I feel like the biggest backbreaker was that goaltend coming off.
Yeah.
That did feel like a big deal, yeah.
We're done. It's over. Yeah, I mean, it's still fun to watch them play basketball. I mean, there wasn't a single performance tonight that was like, oh, shit. But the two Mr. Reliables came through. Kirk Risa did hit 2 threes that were, I mean, they were just going to let him shoot it, and he did. So
the one was from like South Carolina, bro. He ripped that thing up from the logo.
Which that's tape that somebody's going to be like, it's like, shit, we have to
get out on him.
Get out on him. Yeah.
So
the other is they were
40% of them.
They were guarding Lamont on the 3-point line.
Yeah.
They're not stacking off for no more. That's huge if teams start doing that.
And they played hard. They played hard. And I think that athletically that I was pretty impressed by their roster and their coach. It's hilarious.
It's also it's Western too, so
Mhm.
like most of the people on campus in Western. I mean,
Wear UK
I
stuff.
wouldn't say most,
Yeah.
but a lot of the people at Western are walking around campus wearing UK stuff. So they feel a certain way when they're playing
Mhm.
Kentucky. So they wanted it. And if
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't come
Yeah.
in every single game and play to our absolute best, you're gonna have games like this. You can still win them, but it's not going to be super impressive when the other team really wants it.
You think this is a 12 seed in the tourney?
No, I'd say probably if they get in, they're the second best team we've played so far, but that's not saying a ton. But probably,
Yeah.
I mean, Conference USA for 14, maybe.
Second
I
best
mean,
team in the
it's
state.
hey, I can't say you're wrong. Honestly, I don't think Louisville goes to Grand Canyon and gives them that good of a game. Honestly,
Because
the
if
other
they
thing I
win
would,
Conference USA, they're Conference USA, right?
yeah, they'd probably be a 13 or a 14 based on where New Mexico State's been recently. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what they feel like to me. But the only thing I was going to add too is with the defensive like number, their shooting woes, but we also had 7 blocks and 5 steals. I feel like those are very healthy numbers as well. Um, Given we had a lot of fouls, but only one guy getting to 4 fouls, and that was Kobe, which is interesting to say the least. But yeah, no, Lamont got 3, but I felt even though we had the 20 fouls, no one was really in super danger. We have a real deep team, so that
Jackson
Kobe was
getting in
playing
there on
very
the blocks too.
physical. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is the blocks like from mid range and then 3-point all year have been huge for us.
no, for sure.
But yeah, I think that Kobe Brea playing the reason that he had that many fouls was like he's playing very aggressive defense, which is not what people expected at all. And
No, true.
so that's been fun. I think, and he also didn't get pulled for foul trouble or nothing like that. So
Let him play through it a little bit.
mhm.
I'm gonna say it. I don't care you broke your arm. No, I'm gonna say Ortega always the best player on the team.
Yeah,
He is. He shows up night in, night out. Like, he doesn't take a game off.
I mean he was the best
plays
player
hard.
tonight. So he's been either the best or the second best player every game, I think.
I think he's the best player on the
Trying to
team.
remember. Yeah, I would give him that at this point. Yeah, I would say so. Overall, makes winning plays all over the court. Doesn't make any losing plays. Rarely turns it over in a bad way. Typically gets the big rebound, the big steal, all that good stuff.
Hits his free throws.
Yeah.
If there's something good that's happening, typically Ortega always involved in it
Mm-hmm.
to
That's
some
true.
degree.
I mean, he
No.
put the game away against Duke.
Yeah, both. You got the rebound and the steal, back to back.
Well,
Yeah.
boys, I don't know how much longer you want to go on this, unless we want to do a deep dive on Georgia State.
I'm literally just looking at it. There's okay. They've 3-3 losses to Mississippi State, Jacksonville State, and Austin Peay. Wins against North Carolina Central.
Austin P.
Okay,
buddy.
either
Go
way,
It is the bad version actually. That's a local school to us.
Yeah, well, they beat Georgia State by 12. So,
Yikes.
yeah, not a very good team at all. Yeah, just another one you got to get through, and then it's from there it gets real busy with Clemson and Gonzaga back to back. But one more to go until we get there, and you got to win them all, treat them all equally, or you're going to slip up somewhere.
So I did listen to the pregame, like pre-Western press conference or whatever, and somebody, I think it might have been Carr. I don't want to say it was Carr, and then it not have been him. One of them said that this was going to be a lot like the Duke game, which it was.
I mean, in essence, it definitely was.
He knows ball.
He knows the ball.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was Pope Jr. or if it was Kobe Bryant. I think those are the two that I listened to. It was probably Pope Jr. though.
Maybe it's just a game plan thing because we seem to have played it similar game plan wise to how we played Duke. So
yeah.
Thanksgiving. Oh wait, hold on. One more thing about Western. The coach. He looks like he was dressing up as a college basketball coach for Halloween. Or like a morally gray NYPD detective or something. But the guy has the look. Very, very much. He's got his hair slicked back, widow's peak, like Italian Billy Donovan. You can't get more college basketball coach than that.
his jacket didn't fit quite right either. It looked like it was just
Perfect.
ill fitting. He's just
Yeah.
feels like he needed the what's it called? Where they
Oh yeah.
Oh, the PC
tug it.
Tucker.
PC Tucker.
I got you. PC Tucker. Well,
But yeah, it's
Oh.
another Tuesday night, another Kentucky dub.
You know, it could have been worse. We could have lost to Memphis and Colorado in back-to-back games.
I was like, Memphis maybe is good. I mean, they have talent, whatever. And then it was like Colorado. I was like, oh, okay. They're having a rough year. But, they didn't, Brea wasn't a take because they had to get Mahaney. Because Mahaney can play defense.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
I like the guys we got. I'll say that. I like the guys we got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm very. I haven't been this happy about watching Kentucky basketball in so long. So it's been nice. All day I've been thinking, we got to beat my Western. I'm from Western Kentucky, so Western was always the school that all your friends went to. But it's like, it does feel like it's one of those schools that is just big enough to have a pretty big sports scene, but small enough to where everybody still wears Kentucky gear all over campus. Just kind of.
Isn't there like a certain brand of people too who like they're really into Western and they see Kentucky as like a rival, even though Kentucky fans are like, I don't think about you at all.
Yeah, probably. I'm glad we played this game. Cal would not schedule Western like this, would he?
I was going to say that it is nice that they'll play in-state teams. As a fan of a school that rarely gets to play the bigger in-state school, that is nice that they'll still schedule the game.
I think the last time we played them was like during the, what is it like? It was when we were still having like the COVID cancellations and stuff, and we were supposed to play some team, and they canceled, and we had to schedule Western last minute.
I remember that. Yeah. Oh shit, you got that, Braden? You got that shirt? I've been seeing that shirt on all my ads, all over all my social media.
Little birthday present from Jared. So shouts to him. I finally got a Kentucky shirt. Thank you so much.
Hook up my mans.
It's a good one. I really like that cat.
I like it too. It's the first time I'm wearing a Utah State shirt on the pod, so that's probably progress.
We'll just stand up, give us a little spin.
Give us a little spin. No pants.
Okay. There's like no room to turn around.
Winnie the Pooh in it.
I'll give you a little back shot there.
Oh shit!
There we go.
Yeah, I like getting back shots.
Anyways, thank you for joining the Catican. We will see you guys next week for the Georgia State game. Have a wonderful holiday. Go Cats.
Go
Cats.